Hello and welcome back to a brand new vlog. My name is Orion and I make videos every single Wednesday and Sunday and I post them at 6 p.m. And in today's vlog, I've returned home sweet home because a lot of people have been requesting that I give them a little bit of a house tour of where I live, where I work, where we actually got up to with the renovation, and what we plan to do next now that we know we have a baby on the way. However, I've also received a very large box, which is from the one and only Hinomi, who have sent me the X1 Ergonomic Office Chair. So a massive shout out to today's sponsor because I have needed a new chair for several years. For those who don't know, I spend a good 8 to 12 hours sat at that desk. And honestly, let me show you the state of my old chair. The arms are all falling off. This is come undone. It's mashed. It's not in a good way at all. And honestly, my back is actually starting to really hurt from sitting at my desk so much. So I think without further ado, we should crack open this incredibly heavy box and take a look at our new chair inside. And check this out for details. Things that you love to see. That. What a presentation that is. And if you actually flip it over, it's got all the instructions on it. I honestly think I'm going to really struggle to keep all of this in shot because of how big it is. But I believe this is the base for the chair. Underneath the foam, we've got some incredibly good packaging to protect the chair, which if I can lift out in one go, it'll be a miracle. Oh. Okay, that's just the back. That's the back to the chair. After removing more foam, we reveal, oh, look at that. Oh, it feels comfy. Mate, the details. Look at this packaging. But I have emptied the box and I feel like I'm building the seat to like a space rocket or something. I don't think I've ever seen packaging like that before. I am, however, hoping it's easier to build than a space rocket. And by the looks of things, it should be done in 6 easy steps. First things first, we need to put some wheels on the base. Bish, bash, bosh. Job done. Now we just slot this into there, remove some packaging, reveal the tools, and after a few bolts later, the brand new chair is all built. But I think it's time. I think it's time we put you down here and we see how comfortable. Oh yeah. That is a bit of me. This chair actually has so many features, it's unreal. It has these little levers on the side to raise the chair, lower the chair, and actually slide the seat backwards and forwards so you can determine how much of the backrest you want to utilize. The armrests go up and down to suit your height. Not only that, but you can rotate them depending on where you want your arm to actually sit. But then the creme de la creme, it gets better. Because if I actually slide back and reach under here, it's got a leg rest. Oh, yes. Oh, now we're chilling. You know, I was going to give you a house tour, but I might just stay here now. Nah, I'm only kidding. It is incredibly comfy. So if you want to get one yourself, then please do check the link in the description below. Highly, highly recommend it. I've had so many chairs in my life, and as someone who sits at his desk for an extended period of time, this ergonomic chair is going to change my life. So again, a massive shout out to Hinomi. You've brought comfort into my life. And not only that, but a nice bit of style. All right, with the desk set up one step closer to being complete, welcome to a tour of my home. So this is my kitchen, obviously. I've got my cooker and dishwasher here, and then in here, I have my utility cupboard where we do the washing and drying. Then under the counter, I also have a fridge and a freezer, which is great for storage purposes because it's obviously I don't have a big tower one. However, when you have a child, they know how to get into that. I actually remember Benjamin sitting right there eating a block of cheese. If I've got a picture, I'll show it now. Absolute feral child, I know. And then here, just right next to the kitchen, is where I do all of my work in the lounge. This is actually a bookcase unit that I've put together in a door frame space to basically put all of my memorabilia and stuff that I collect. As you'll probably notice, a whole lot of Final Fantasy VII things, but a lightsaber as well. Down the bottom half, which is probably counterintuitive, but it's where I keep all of my electrics, like the router and my PS5 with all the wiring behind it, which feeds in to my desk. Then to very briefly walk through my desk setup, I have a sit-stand desk with two mice. One of them is wireless and one of them is wired, because I have a gaming PC for doing all of my streaming and gaming on and stuff like that. Then I have a Mac Studio, which is what I work on for doing all of my vlog editing, all of which is connected to 3 monitors. I have opted for the stack because I edit the timeline on this ultra wide at the bottom, and then I have the preview at the top, which I also turn into gaming and like my streaming studio setup down here, and then just an off monitor for reading things. Lots of tech and wires go into making that work. If you'd like me to do a proper setup tour of my desk, then let me know in the comments down below. But if we step out of the kitchen into my desk space and into the lounge, we don't have a sofa in here because we very rarely ever used it. In the 5 to 10 to plus years that I've actually lived here, I've never ever sat on a sofa to watch television. The only time I actually watch TV is, you know, when I'm getting into bed or if we're having dinner. So instead, we opted for a built-in bench with an extremely large table, but it is way more practical for doing work on, playing board games together, actually sitting around a table and having dinner together, as well as extra storage underneath in the bench for the countless amount of things that we own. Oh, and I did get some foam custom cut to fit our bench. However, we've not got it upholstered yet. That is on a long list of things to do. But directly opposite the table, we have the TV cabinet that I upcycled. And to be honest, I am so glad that I did that because I think it actually goes really nicely with our lounge. Moving down into the corridor, you'll first notice this extremely long cable that goes all the way to our bedroom. Rather annoyingly, no matter how many times I try with like new routers and stuff like that, the Wi-Fi just doesn't reach from my desk to the other side of the flat. So we've ended up getting a cable that I do need to install at some point. Again, another thing added to the list. But if we walk down the corridor, it is a little bit cluttered, but we are mostly done now. I've got my guitar hung up in here, lots of pictures that we've taken, some more art, and well, I say art, photos that I've taken, all in frames down the corridor, our little cow that we brought back from Switzerland, and the shoe cabinet, which was honestly one of the best things we actually purchased for this corridor. This is our bathroom. I'm sorry, it's a little bit messy, but obviously we live here, so you're not going to get like a show home tour with the shower, sink. It's a bathroom. I don't know what else to say. However, if I move into our bedroom where the snug is still standing, it is honestly one of the best things I actually decided to do in this room, to divide it into like a bed with a snug and then Jess's crafting office, where I will talk a little bit more about what is going on in there. But it is truly stood the test of time. It's nice to watch television here. It's a bit awkward having this storage space at the top to like constantly reach behind you to get a bottle. But given the space, I think we made the most of it. Sadly, Jess hasn't really been able to make the most of her craft room. She uses her desk quite often for working and stuff like that, but with the crafting stuff, she's not really had the time to crack on with doing things that she wants to do in here. That being said, I can see some little projects that she's currently working on. But as we are having a baby, we have been super busy with like life in general, like renovating the garage, helping family out, going on holidays. She hasn't been able to spend a lot of time in this room, and sadly, it is going away. As the new plan with this space is to remove all of Jess's crafting things, put them into storage, get a nursing chair probably in this space here, maybe like a new TV on the wall, and basically turn this area into a nursery. As many of you may know, babies don't actually take up a lot of room, but they do have a lot of things. And just the amount of storage that I put in this area for Jess's crafting things, it just makes the most sense to unfortunately remove it and turn it into a nursery. It's the perfect place to be like in bed and say in the middle of the night we need to feed the baby. We can come into this section of the room, relax and not disturb whoever's sleeping. And as we don't have a sofa or somewhere comfortable to sit, getting a nursing chair as well is probably the best option for us right now as we still live in the flat. Now, obviously this space won't actually become the baby's room, but for the first year, it makes the most sense from a practicality point to use this space. The next thing on my list of things to do is in Benjamin's room, where he is making full use of the space and playing with everything, but the plan in here is to raise Benjamin's bed up to basically become a bunk bed, and then underneath, all of his toy boxes and maybe a little desk will go underneath there. Most likely move his TV across, then potentially look at utilizing the space on the other half of the room for the new baby. I'm not entirely sure yet. We have got time to think about it, but if you have any suggestions, then please do let me know in the comments down below. I will say that this is as temporary as it can be for the time being. We're not really in a position where we can just move out tomorrow. So the plan is hopefully within the next year we can look at getting a house or moving into a bigger space, because I'm really grasping at straws to utilize the most amount of room that we have here. Like, crikey, I'm actually working in the lounge right next to the kitchen. And one of the reasons why we've not really done much to Benjamin's room yet is because we knew when we were doing the renovation here that we were expecting a baby, and we weren't really sure the best way to utilize our space when we have 2 children. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming up. I need to get the garage project finished first so I can start moving things out of here and into there. A lot of stuff that we just don't need to be here anymore, that's taking up space. We've quite literally got stuff just all over the place. But as I said before, we are in the process of looking for a new home slash house, ideally, with more room for our family, because we have most definitely outgrown this place. However, it's just not a quick process. Like, I can't just grab a house tomorrow. And I also don't want to cause too much disruption and stress to like Jess when we're having a baby. To me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I'd rather stay here, be settled when the baby's born, and then next year hopefully look at moving out. However, with the home tour complete, another massive shout out to Hinomi for sponsoring this video. If you did enjoy a little tour of where I live and where I work, then please leave this video a thumbs up rating. I would appreciate that. If you'd like to get yourself your own chair, then make sure you look in the description below and click the link that you can find in there. If you're new to our channel, hit subscribe. But as always, it's been Orion. Thank you so much for watching. Peace, much love. Bye-bye.